Welcome to Lynchburg, Virginia. This is a new Microsoft Flight Simulator update movie in which we're going to look at the city of Lynchburg. And the city of Lynchburg exists in multiple states in the US, and we're going to visit the one in Virginia because that's the one which received a photogrammetry update as part of World Update number 10. The good thing is that there's an airport really close by. It's the Lynchburg Regional Airport, and if you look at the buildings which are located, say, near the airport, you will see that once we're going airborne, we will, say, fly over the Liberty University, and then we will fly over several other buildings, which are probably known better to you than to me because I've never been there, including the Williams Stadium, the Liberty Baseball Stadium, the Cook Tennis Complex. Multiple other pieces, church is also there on the first round, and then of course several other buildings which we're gonna fly over. Again, I don't know all those buildings, so I would say hey, you were wrong, because I've never been there. So let's have a look and let's go airborne to see how it looks like, right? So I'm gonna go inside the aircraft, remove the parking brakes, and then we're gonna go airborne. So this city received a photogrammetry update, right? So it didn't receive any point of interest, unfortunately, but it did receive a lot of photogrammetry content, which is based on Bing Maps. So the question is, of course, how realistic is it and how up to date is it? Because in some cases Bing Maps is a little bit outdated. We're gonna go airborne. There's a little bit of bumpy ride on the runway. Sorry for that. So to see the content the best, we're gonna go outside of the aircraft while we're flying, right? We're flying over the airport. The airport has 2 runways, as you can see. So it's a relatively small airport, but again, it's a regional one, so it's, I'd say, kind of expected. The good thing is that it's very close to the city, so we don't have to fly too far before we already see the first buildings which have been updated as part of the photogrammetry content. So let's go in this angle. We'll fly over the road into the city, and then we will see the university or the library street first, and then several other buildings. Probably adjust the trim. Too much. So here we go, and this is where you can see all the sporting facilities which we discussed a little bit earlier, right? Including the stadia, which we will pause as we speak. Over here. Then I would say on the right hand you see, I would say, a weird thing, and that's something we're gonna visit, I would say, during our next round, right? Because I want to also have a look at what it is. It looks like it's the Liberty Mountain Trail, or it's the Liberty Mountain Snowflakes Center. Here you can see some nice letters carved into the mountains. While we're flying right, we can see this is photogrammetry content. It's mainly applied to this part of the city, as far as you can see. That's some more realism. Also the highway which we're passing. And then we're already at the city edges, right? So here you won't see too much, to be honest. So
Robin X-ray Golf Sierra leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Lynchburg Tower, Robin Alpha, Sierra X-ray Golf, Sierra frequency change.
So one recommendation is, if you want to fly without answering all those ATC messages, is to enable the ATC assistant. It's an assistant which you can enable automatically answer all the ATC messages, and will prevent you a lot of frustration. Especially if you play on the Xbox and don't have a keyboard attached. If you have a keyboard attached, it's much easier. So if you want to handle the HC message yourself and you're playing it on the Xbox, then it's let's say a strong recommendation to connect the keyboard. Else simply enable the automatically answering using the AI, so the auto pilot system, which handles the HC messages. So while speaking, right, we're making a turn. We're gonna fly once again over the city and also have a look at that, let's say, different spot we saw in the mountains. We need to watch out that we're going into the correct direction. This one. Drop the nose a bit and also decrease the throttle. And the prop and the mix a bit. So we're decreasing the altitude, right? We're now at 3,400 feet. I'm going to decrease a bit so we can look a little bit closer at it. Also push the joystick a little bit forward. Then we flying over that other piece. It looks like it's some trough or something with snow. It looks really cool. On the other end, we're bypassing the I would say stadia, and you can see how detailed they are. Right, you can even read what's written on the grass. So nice little tower here. And how the stadium looks like. A large parking spot, probably for a large shop. Can't make any advertisements, but it is indeed a large shop, right? If you ask me how do you know it? If you've never been there, well, I'm looking on, I would say, one of the map functionalities which is there, right? Simply use either Bing Maps or use Google Maps, and that will help you a lot. Then we go back at the aircraft, I won't say airport, and have another look at the city. You see that is really, I would say, centered to, I would say, probably the main road which walks to the city. It's, if I'm looking correctly, it's the Old Wards Road. Other than that, if I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like that they pay too much attention to the rest of that city. But it's cool. It has its own airport, right? So if you want to have a look at the city, one of the airports which you can depart from is Lynchburg Regional Airport, which is really close by. It's almost, I would say, in the city. And I can imagine that here, if you're living here, right, you recognize multiple pieces of it. So here ends our review or MSFS update movie about Lynchburg. Lynchburg again received a photogrammetry update as part of World Update number 10. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.